Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I got another video for you all today, kind of showing a chat that I had with this one dude who, used to be friends with Rakib Marvelous, and also, too, he was kind of one of the people who was putting up a lot of stuff that made me believe that Edgar was still alive, and then also, too, just a lot of things. I've had my head played with for a very long time. He's not the only one who told me that. In fact, my dad was actually one of those people who told me that, because I think like a couple of days or a few after, that's when he told me that. But anyways, though, I never really could like grieve form right like I wanted to, and then later on when I did, I started getting into a state of psychosis where I was hearing clicks, multiple things, and devices and whatnot respond to different thoughts and whatnot. I started realizing, I believe there's something actually going on, whether it be telepathy, thought transference, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, started reading the Bible more, and it's true. There is stuff like witchcraft like that. I mean, there was a lady who literally called out Paul when he walked into a city. And as you can see right here, this conversation shows more and more about how basically the Bible talks about how witchcraft is manipulation in any form. So I was telling this dude that. So I'm like, food's pretty bad, because a lot of food has a lot of really bad stuff that gives you actually worse symptoms of autism, ADHD, depression, all these other symptoms. And not only that, too, when I did have my first really bad episode of psychosis, that's when I actually ran out of all the holistic stuff that I would spend to basically help with stress levels, mental illnesses, all that stuff. Basically stuff to help with my autistic symptoms and traits, because I'd been watching people like Dr. Axe and stuff like that, and I watched him with my dad, and was trying to get him to eat more organic and whatnot, but his crazy woman... see right here, this is the jacket I used to have. I know some of you all have seen pictures of that. Allegedly my cousin from my mom's sister, he stole it, and supposedly, allegedly stole it, or sold it. Now, that aunt, the mother of him, said that it was another cousin of mine. But, they were saying all that stuff when I was still dealing with schizophrenic symptoms and psychosis, because I thought at one point, too, that they were shapeshifters and whatnot, and that, they were doing other sorts of abuse. And at the time, too, this was around, I believe, late 2021 or something like that, or early 2022. That's when I was believing as well, too, that one of my great aunts was a goblin or something like that, like a shape-shifting goblin. So it was a little bit weird. But as you can see right here, I was asking questions just because he told me at one point that he believed that some woman I talked to was like a CIA plant. I don't know if he was trying to make me more psychotic and more deluded, but that's what he told me. So I'm like, hey, what's wrong with me asking him if he's an FBI plant? Because, if so, I do have a couple of people that you need to look out for. Like Rakib. Why haven't you said anything about Rakib? Because Rakib sure did like to take and manipulate people who had shortcomings. He manipulated other people with autism spectrum disorder. And also, too, he was saying a lot of stuff about Schiller, basically saying he was like, violent and aggressive and all this stuff. Just like he said stuff about Blah Blah LPs or Bond of Games, Jonathan. But, I mean, over time when we started looking over stuff, and when I started looking at stuff recently, I'm like, maybe there was something there. But Anyways, yeah, this dude is crazy, man. I do not like this guy. This guy is one of the fakest Christians I think I've ever met. And he wanted to ask me, you gonna report that about your dad and all that stuff? But he don't want to report anything about Rakib Marvelous? Like, what is wrong with you, dude? And then if I'm not friend or foe, why are you telling me about your children, dude? I don't want to know about that. If you're gonna be my enemy, dude, what, you're trying to humanize yourself or something like that so that I don't look at you another way. Nah, this dude doesn't deserve a job at Intel, dude. This dude's been saying NIGGR supposedly. He said so himself. He said that Dominic told him to. He was like, yeah, I said it. Oh, yeah, see right here, this is John Ramirez, evangelist. He used to be an ex-Satanist. As it shows there, he had been groomed by witches and stuff like that and warlocks. And basically, Rakib kind of did that to me. I needed a ghost texter who was Sully at one point, just like I needed Mark, his brother, who I thought was someone else entirely different. I thought Mark was actually black, and then found out later he wasn't even black. But yeah, basically, they guided me when it came to texting because I didn't know stuff and whatnot. And as you can see right here, this dude saying, no, I'm not gay. And it's, a little bit of witchcraft manipulation where, some people aren't going to see it as that, but in my, religious beliefs, that's what it is. And this is his religious beliefs, supposedly. He says he's Christian and all that stuff. He don't do no witchcraft. And then he's going to accuse me later of doing witchcraft by me asking him something. So then it's like, how much of a hypocrite are you, dude? It looks like you're sucking that Rakib penis, dude. It looks like you really like it, or it looks like Rakib has lots and lots, and I mean lots of blackmail on a lot of people, dude. Because Rakib sure did get Megan Eskimo kisses, or whatever you want to call her online, all that stuff. He's sure to get her to supposedly, allegedly change forms for him for a lease that he said, this is my house, to me. Just like he slandered my name when it came to Glitch X City, Courtney, to where he said that I did something further beyond what I actually did. And then when I actually confronted her about it in the house that we were staying at, she told me that he was actually wrong, and she said, nah, if it were actually bad, I would have been able to put you down. Because she basically was in the Navy, or in the military of some sort. So it's like, there you go. Even her pride snitched on herself to basically be like, you didn't actually do that. Rakib lied. He twisted things. He adds a little bit of his own spices and shenanigans on it to kind of, add to the story and whatnot. Just like he would lie on me multiple times to other people, saying that he never did anything wrong to me, but that's not true. He misled me in multiple ways. In fact, when I trusted him back then, when, he had been leading me to believe he was Christian and whatnot, he was trying to mislead me on the abortion and whatnot, which, that one fool, Philemon, I don't even want to say his channel name. Philemon's like, he's a baby killer. Well, then what does that make you, dude? You targeted me when I was 17. It makes you, what? You preyed on me, dude, just because I didn't want to make videos with you. And then not only that, too, because supposedly I trolled you or something like that. And there's screenshots of that will be going up quite soon. I'm just waiting for that right time. And, as you can see right here, I asked him, too, about Christine, because he's the one who told me she used to have witch in her, bio. And then now he's like, I don't care right now. I'm like, what the heck? This dude is freaking weird, dude. And as you can see right here, I'm basically highlighting the most important comments by tapping on them and whatnot, so you can kind of see. But, as you can see right here, was still in psychosis or not. I really don't think I was at the time, but could have been. But, people like to say you're in psychosis when you call out what they've been doing wrong. Because I called someone else out, too, basically saying, I didn't return to your place because you were saying some stuff about, They're watching us. They're watching us. Pointing to a picture of, their children. I'm just like, it's kind of weird, like saying that they're watching us when, you're saying they're watching us when we just were intimate. That's kind of interesting. And then, just, supposed person said too that they had been, basically accused of having a hit on someone's child. So I was like, this is getting a little weird. But then at the same time, too, maybe I need to see what's going on because I had divulged a little bit about my family. So I'm like, is this something there? There's people who say that witches can actually do that kind of stuff. Like John Ramirez, evangelist John Ramirez, ex-Satanist, look him up. He literally talked about how he would do spells to send someone to the hospital, diseases, send schizophrenia spirits. And actually, I did have that. I had voices sent to me in my first psychotic episode. And it's like, I had multiple voices. Like I had one voice to where I thought Etika was telling me to hold my face in front of a train and let the train knock my face clean off, like the cow meme that he posted at one point a long time ago. Just like, as you can see right here, this dude used to be with Zippy the Porcupine. And then he told me one thing, then he told me another thing. And look right here, this dude is the biggest wishy-washiest mofo I've ever met that said he was a Christian outside of my own family members. But then, hey, I'm a hypocrite too in my own way. I can't say that I've been perfect by any means at all. I mean, hey, I tried to go for an abortion when I thought to myself, my mom would probably disown me even harder because before that even occurred, she disowned me over $10,000 I didn't give her. And I wasn't even being a smart aleck to her. I just told her respectfully. And this deluded demonic woman said this to me. And then she wants to be like, you're too smart to be here. You're too smart to be in a mental facility. I'm like, woman, whore for the money. You're the one who has me in here. Not just you, Rakib Huck. Also GCPM 11. Also Katie. Also, who else? Almost everyone I know, including my dad later on. And that's what's crazy about it. All these people want to be like, you're too smart. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. That's what my dad would say at one point. And then he called me a pussy. One, because I remember it was on the stairs in the hallway of a place. And he called me a pussy, just like he called me other stuff too, when in reality, he should have looked in the mirror and realized, there was some abuse that occurred between us at one point. So if you're calling me that, you should be calling yourself something worse. And yeah, clearly, he didn't try to help me out when it came to my mom and Benny or anything like that. In fact, my dad, if you didn't like him or something like that, he would get a little bit pissy. In fact, my sister alleged that he would tell her to her face before my mom and him separated, I wanted to abort you. I wanted to abort you. And when you do that, you can biblically put curses on your children, just like you can also add stress to the womb and bring more curses to your children. So my mom alleged he's always stressed me out, but she married him because she got pregnant, I guess because he was making lots and lots of money at the time and whatnot. My mom loves that moolah, man. She loves it. In fact, she had no qualms taking it from us when we were younger. And she was spending racks on eBay for all sorts of things, all sorts of businesses, mostly clothing businesses and whatnot. And that's why she hoed me out too. Just like my dad, just like her boyfriend. She did the Trinity Hoetry. And yeah, Yeah, she even told me at one point, if I could pay you every cent before I die and go to my grave, I would. She yelled that at me, and it like hit me to where it shook me to where it kept me pressured into still giving her money. That's why I don't even like money. And you know what's even crazier too? The crazier part is I think she wants me to die before her. I genuinely believe she wants me to die before her. So then she can toss a few pennies